Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the Championship predictions. So many games coming at us thick and fast in April. It's mental. I'm joined by Lee. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Matt. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Honestly, excited for more games this weekend. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and we'll go straight in for Sheffield United versus AFC Bournemouth. What a fixture this is. I think both of these are going to complete their objectives for this season. Bournemouth getting second place, and I think Sheffield United will get the playoffs. Big win against QPR on the Tuesday. It wasn't the prettiest game, but they got the 3 points, and I think they deserved it. I'm going to go for 1-1. I think Sheffield United are edging towards that top 6 finish, need to get to about 74 points, and Bournemouth, a point here isn't bad, so 1-1 to start things off.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United's strong form at home could play a big factor here. I'm actually going to go with a Sheffield United win.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think Bournemouth, could come and get a result definitely, but I'm going to go Sheffield United, and I'm going to go Sheffield United 2, Bournemouth 1.
Interesting. We'll move on to a derby next between Blackburn Rovers and Blackpool. Blackpool just played in a derby. Didn't go their way though. They lost 1-0 to Preston at Deepdale. Can they bounce back with a result here? I think they can. Blackpool can cause nuisances well, they can be a nuisance, should I say, for oppositions. And Blackburn Rovers are a team that are in the mix, but they're falling away, and teams have been picking up results recently, and Blackburn aren't in the top 6 anymore. They need to win this, Blackburn Rovers. They're more than capable of it, because on their day they deserve to be in the top 6, but I don't think they're going to make it. And I'm going to back Blackpool to come here and win 2-1.
Oh, I'm going the opposite. I think Blackburn, with key players being back now, I think they'll get a result, and I think they'll win the game quite comfortably 2-0.
Interesting.
I think.
Big game at Bristol City. They take on Peterborough United. It's a pretty interesting game because Peterborough did get a decent point against Luton. Anyone drawing 1-1 with Luton should be happy with that. But on the same night, Reading won. It just means Peterborough are so far adrift now. They need to win this, and they need to win a lot of their final 6 games or so. I think Bristol City win though. Bristol City haven't been perfect this season, but I think they're more than capable of winning this fixture. 2-1 to the Robins.
Well, I think I'm going to go for a draw for this one, just because, like you say, Peterborough are the team that's playing for something. Bristol not so much, so I can maybe see Peterborough going and getting a point. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Okay,
next up we go to Middlesbrough versus Hull City. Could be an interesting game. Middlesbrough obviously in the top 6 race. They'll have seen teams have been picking up results recently. They need to keep picking up results themselves. Hull City's an interesting one. At times they've been an obstacle for other teams. They're not going to go down as far as I'm concerned, so the only thing they can do here is be a nuisance for Middlesbrough. I don't think they'll cause enough of a problem. I think Middlesbrough should get over the line. I think it'll be close, but I'm going to go 2-1 to Borough.
Yeah, no, I'll back up what you're saying. Hull, they won't go down probably, and then Middlesbrough fighting for those playoff places. So yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable, quite comprehensive 3-0 victory.
Interesting. Wow, big result that one. Next up we go to the Den. Millwall take on Barnsley. Now Barnsley will not be happy with the way things have gone recently. They didn't beat Reading, and then Reading beat Stoke, so Barnsley need a result here. It's possible they could get something because Millwall's good record at home came to an end against Swansea. They lost 1-0, and Millwall need to win this to have any chance of getting back into that top 6 race, because if they don't win this, it's as good as over because everyone is moving forwards. I think this will be a draw. I think both teams are really fighting. It could be an entertaining game. 1-1.
Yeah, I think Millwall's morale would have just dropped after the Swansea game just a little bit. They're just slowly slipping now. But yeah, so I'm going to go for a draw as well. I'm going to go 0-0.
0-0. Next up we go to Reading versus Cardiff City. Reading picked up a massive result, and you could put a couple of their recent results together and say they look like they're going to stay up now. It would take something very special from Derby or Barnsley to gain on them. Reading have got it in their hands, and it's these home games against teams like Cardiff, who aren't really playing for anything, that are massive. Cardiff's last result was that 4-0 defeat to Swansea. I can't see how they're going to bounce back here. I'm going to go for Reading to win 1-0, which should push them towards safety.
Yeah, I'm also going to back a Reading a Reading win, sorry, should I say. Yeah, that Cardiff defeat to Swansea was a big blow.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a tough one to recover from. And yeah, I'm going to back a Reading win, and I think that's a win that will probably start to make Reading fans feel secure with their future in the Championship next season. So I'm going to go for a Reading 2-0 win.
Interesting. Okay, next up we go to the City Ground. Nottingham Forest take on Birmingham City. Last time I watched Birmingham, they did pick up a decent result against West Brom. Wasn't a great game, but fair play to them. Going away to Forest, though, is not easy. I will have to admit, we're recording this just before Forest play Coventry, so I don't know how that one's finished yet, but I think Forest are going to beat the Blues. I'm going to say 3-1 to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, me as well. I'm going to back a Nottingham Forest result. They just look so, strong at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think Birmingham are really going to find it difficult to contest with. So yeah, I'm going to back a Forest win. I'm going to go for a 2-1.
2-1. Okay, interesting. Next up we go to Deepdale. Preston take on Queen's Park Rangers. Feels like this might be a game that we're playing on the beach, because Queen's Park Rangers might just have seen that top 6 race come and go, because going into that Sheffield United game they weren't in a good run, and it's just continued that poor run. I think that's 6 defeats in 7 now. At the time of recording this, Warburton hasn't been sacked, but I feel like he could be any day now. Preston have just beaten Blackpool. That'll lift their spirits and the Derby Day win. I think Preston are going to win this. It's not easy to go to Deepdale, especially in QPR's form. 2-1 to Preston.
So I do think QPR will drop points, but not that many. I think it'll be a draw. Yeah, just Preston, one of those teams where they could definitely get a result, but I just think QPR, they'll be hurting. I think it could be one of those where they could get something, but yeah, very disappointing performance against Sheffield United. But yeah, I'm going to go for a draw, but unfortunately more points lost for QPR, and I think the fans, you'll start to be feeling a little bit dejected now. So I'm going to go for a 1-1.
Okay, interesting. Next up we go to the Liberty as Swansea City take on Derby County. Now Swansea are brilliant at the moment. 10 points in the last 4. And that win against Cardiff, followed up by that win against Millwall. Just incredible. They're playing Derby County, who have actually got something to play for. Derby are in real trouble now. They won their last game, which was brilliant against Preston, but they've seen Reading pick up 4 points in the last 2, and it just leaves Derby chasing, and it isn't in Derby's hand, which is the most frustrating thing. I think this could be an interesting game. Derby can play decent football. I think this game could be open. Swansea are a decent team. I'll say there's a share of the spoils in an entertaining Desmond, 2-2, but it probably won't be enough for Derby. They need to win games.
Absolutely, they do. You're right. And it's one game I just can't see them winning this one. And
No.
I think it'll be Swansea getting the result here. I just think the run of form they're in, really, really on the back of that Cardiff game. Fantastic result for them. And yeah, I can only see it continuing, so I'm going to go for a Swansea. I'll make it interesting. I'll say 3-2.
Wow, okay, interesting. Next up we go to the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion versus Stoke City. This one is pretty much on the beach. Neither of these two are going to make the playoffs unless they win all of their games now. It's a hard one to predict. Neither of them have been in great form, but they have both won games recently-ish. I think it wouldn't surprise me if this one was a draw or either team won it. So I think it's fair to say 1-1 on this occasion.
Okay, no, I think that's a fair reflection. I tend to agree. Both teams a little bit underwhelming at the moment. I think West Brom fans, from where you were at the start of the season, it's been a bit of a calamity since. But I'd say a draw for this one as well, and I'll go for 1-1 as well.
Okay, next up we go down to Craven Cottage as Fulham take on Coventry City. Could be interesting, this one. Once again, we are recording this just before Coventry play Forest, so obviously the games are coming so thick and fast. I'm not having time to record after the Forest game, so it's really hard to predict this, because if we just won at Forest, then I feel like we could get something at Fulham, but the chances are we might not win at Forest. This is a tough game, whatever happens in the Forest game before. Fulham are flying. They're so close now to getting promoted. Just a couple more points will seal it. I feel like Coventry can give a good account of themselves against a top team here, but could just come up short. Fulham 2, Coventry 1.
Once again, I've never predicted a Coventry loss on this channel, and it will continue. Coventry are not going to lose this game, but they're not going to win it either.
Oh, right.
No, so I'm going to go for a draw. I don't think it puts too much dents in Fulham's coming top of the table. Fulham have dropped points at times recently. So yeah, I'm going to go for we'll make it interesting, 2-2 draw.
Hey, that'd be brilliant. I'd take a Desmond at Fulham. That'd be a great result. We'll see you for the stream for that one on Sunday. The final game is on Monday. This is quite a cracker. Huddersfield Town versus Luton Town, the two teams that are quite high up in the playoff race. Feels like the winner here should be should be able to go on and wrap it up, and the loser might need to bounce back at some point. I think both these two are in very strong positions, but like I say, the loser of this could maybe find themselves in a position where the other teams have made gains on them over the weekend. Do you know what? 0-0. I feel like it could be an anticlimax. It's an interesting setup, but both teams might be reasonably happy with the draw.
Possibly. Yeah, I think Huddersfield just losing a few games recently. Yeah, they might just start to drop off a little bit. Who knows what happens? It's the Championship. But I'm going to back Huddersfield, you know, even after their couple of losses recently. But yeah, I just think they'll have enough to get past Luton. You know, Luton will be a tough test, as they are for every team in the Championship. They show that, you know, for the past few seasons. But yeah, I'm going to go Huddersfield win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win.
1-0. That wraps up the Championship predictions, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. Tune into our next live stream, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.